Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to, I guess you would call this episode 1 of the G4 St. Albans quote unquote vlog. So we're going to give this a try just to see how we get on. As most of you who have been with us a while will know, we've been sending out emails to you guys to kind of help answer questions on practice and help everything become just that kind of little bit more digestible. I don't know about you, but the one thing I hear back from a lot of students is how busy everybody is. So I'm going to give this a try and try and keep them as small as possible. And by doing that, hopefully make the information a bit more digestible. The way I figure it is if you guys are really, really busy, you don't have time to sit down and read a lengthy email, which is why I sometimes feel that the information can sometimes kind of go over the top of our heads. So hopefully by doing this, it's a little bit more digestible. So what I want to talk about today is the concept of finding the time to practice. So finding the time to practice, really, really important that we address this. And I'm going to try and break it down into four kind of key areas. So if we don't find the time to practice, we don't practice, we don't get any better. So it's kind of counterproductive to our goals of playing the guitar. So I myself have had to go through this, and this isn't more of an instructional video of kind of this is what you should do. This is just kind of me saying this is what I have done. So I always tend to find that I receive correction and instruction better from people that have actually tried it and had success with it. So I wouldn't give you any information or any sort of tips on this unless I tried it personally myself. So let's get into point number one. So point number one to help us find time to practice would be to change our thinking. So when I was younger, as a student, I'd have to basically just get very real with myself and say, what is it I want to do? I want to get good at the guitar, okay, so therefore I'm going to need to find time to practice and actually do the practice. So by doing that, I would look at my schedule, my week or whatever, and see where are the little snippets that we're going to set aside to practice the guitar with. And remember, we only want 30 minutes. 30 minutes is kind of a manageable, nice sort of time frame where we can, dedicate to the guitar and give it our kind of undivided attention. So by fixing your mentality, you don't want to be looking at guitar as work. You want to be enjoying it. This is a hobby. So if you can view the guitar as a hobby, as opposed to come off of a 8-hour shift, got to go home and play the guitar, get me practice figures in. Don't look at it like that. Try and look at it as this is my hobby. This is what I want to do. And by doing that, you will kind of easily find the time to practice because you'll want to do it. And that's going to be the key clincher for most people's success. Most people that kind of begrudgingly practice the guitar never really have a very long-lasting relationship with it and fall off the wagon and stop playing. Whereas those of us that kind of look at it like, it's a hobby, and yes, it was a hobby for me once, it's now my job, but it was just a hobby for me once. You look at it like it's fun, it's something that kind of takes my mind off of work. Brilliant. Okay, so that's one positive step to changing your focus and really kind of aligning your thinking with the practice. So that'll bring us to point number two. Point number two, really, really, really important. I'd suggest doing this probably more than anything, and that's set goals. So really important that we set goals with our playing. If we set goals, we've aligned our thinking, and now we've got a direction for where we're going to be going. So without goals, you're just kind of just going through the motions, going back and forth with the wind, and just kind of never really getting anywhere. Whereas if I want to learn this song, I want to learn this technique, I love that guitar solo, I'd love to learn that guitar solo, that's a goal. And be ambitious with your goals. Don't just sit there and think, I want to learn to play this really simple song. Be ambitious. Set really simple goals, but then set really ambitious ones. Long-term goals. Because that way, again, if your alignment of your thinking is right, and you've got goals, you will find time because you've got that sense of accountability. You've got that sort of, I wanted to learn the guitar, I wanted to learn that song. Am I doing what's required in order for me to actually get there and learn that song? If the answer is no, then you need to just kind of review. Am I doing enough practice? Am I practicing? So many people I meet, they've set this goal and then they're coming to me saying, I'm never quite getting there. And I say, okay, so, what are we working on at home? Oh, well, at home I can't really. And it's like, well, it's kind of it's a bit of a vicious cycle, really, but, it is so important to set goals. I'll give you an example out of context of the guitar. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a brilliant guy to look at for kind of goal setting. You can read about, they've got these loads of cheesy YouTube videos with slow motion montage with epic classical music in the background of him doing. I won't do the Arnold voice because I can't do it, but him talking about how he kind of grew up and came from Austria and now he's a mega superstar in America and that. And as he was growing up, he got his big thing in well, his kind of his shoot to stardom through bodybuilding. And as he was growing up, he was in the military. And apparently he stuck pictures of all these bodybuilders all over the wall of his dorm or of his room, and so when he woke up he could see what he wanted to achieve. He was like, I want to look like that person, I want to look like that person, I want to be that big, so he was constantly kind of reminding himself of his goal, and as a result of that, he, look at him now, multi-million dollar actor, politician, governor, whatever. And he's achieved those goals, and that's because he set goals. He set drastic goals, set really kind of ambitious ones, and he constantly reminded himself. So he focused his thoughts on what he wanted to do. So if you bring that back to the guitar, if you've got goals, I've had to set them. I wanted to start a band when I was younger. It just realigns your thought, and it helps keep you focused on this journey. And especially at times where practice seems hard, it's really good to have those goals there to kind of help refocus you. The third one I'd say is a little bit more cut and dry, and that would be just kind of, I call it myself, cut the crap. But I guess you would say don't procrastinate. Procrastination is huge in the world of anything. If you've got a goal, if you've got an ambition that you want to kind of achieve, whether it be running a marathon, learning an instrument, learning to dance, going on a diet, doing anything, procrastination, I'll do it later, or coming up with reasons as to why you can't do something is the biggest kind of blocker for anyone achieving success. So one little tip that I use is I try and ban the words yeah but from my vocabulary when it comes to people talking to me about my guitar playing, or if I'm just kind of recapping it to myself and thinking, am I where I want to be? If I ban the word yeah but basically means I acknowledge that I'm not where I should be, but I've got a lot of valid reasons why I'm not, and these are these reasons. A lot of them is we're really busy. Again, review your schedules. 30 minutes a day. Half an hour. If you're looking at it like it's a hobby and not a chore, you'll find that half an hour. Trust me, I've done it. In a way, it's really good if you've got quite a stressful job to have something like the guitar to kind of just take your mind away from everything. It's really, really good to have that. So just to recap, the first one is realign your thinking. The second one would be to, once you realign your thinking, set goals. And then the third one would be to kind of not procrastinate. So don't come up with excuses to yourself. Just think, this is what I want to do. This is what needs to be done for me to do it, and I'm just going to do it. And eventually, what becomes a bit of a chore at the beginning, or a bit of this is new, I have to make time to sit down and do something, it'll become second nature to you. I mean, look at these people that live really healthily, and they post pictures on Instagram of all this wonderful green food that they eat. At one point, they probably didn't eat like that. At one point, it was probably a behaviour that they had to kind of really think, okay, I want to get in shape, so this is what I'm going to have to do, this is what I'm going to have to eat in order to do that. And now it's second nature to them, and they're posting pictures on Instagram all over the place. It's really annoying if those of you that are in the world of Instagram. But so just try not to procrastinate. It's only you that gets hurt by procrastination. You don't hurt anybody else, it's only yourself. So try and steer away from them. And the last one I would say is just have fun. Have fun. Don't take it so seriously. A lot of people compare themselves to me in my lessons. They'll say, oh, but you. And it's like, but this was once a hobby for me. Before I ever started playing the guitar in college or started doing it as like a career or anything like that, it was just something I did at home. I wasn't very good at school. I wasn't very academic. And the only reason I started studying it was because I didn't really know what I wanted to do after school and after I left school. So they said, well, if you get an an English language GCSE, I'm always getting them mixed up. English language GCSE, you can go to the local college, which is West Herts to me, and play the guitar, do a BTEC in music. So I was like, brilliant! I get to kind of prolong the harsh realities of going to work and play the guitar for a bit. But it started off with me just having fun. It started off with me playing in awful, awful, awful bands. And listening to Metallica mostly. Everything I had back then was Metallica. Learning riffs and just really enjoying it. And it wasn't something that I saw as a chore. I took lessons once a week. I had a tutor, which is a very different way of learning and not always the right way. It doesn't suit every person. I tend to find that what we do is a lot more laid back. But you know, in the week, I was surrounded by just my CDs, my music, listening to music constantly, enjoying it, listening to riffs and thinking, oh, I'd love to learn that, or that's an awesome solo. And I was a terrible guitar player back in the day, but I thought I was great. And I just had fun with it. And through that came a real passion to learn. And, you know, not everyone's got the same ambitions I had, but, you know, if you want to learn those songs, if you just start having fun with it, you will. You will naturally learn them because you'll make the time to practice, you'll make the time to put the work in, and you know the results will come. And then when you look back, the sense of achievement you'll have will be brilliant because you'll think, wow, this is something I couldn't do before, and now I can. And it sounds a bit cheesy, it sounds a bit new agey, and I'm not one for that kind of David Wolf kind of, you know, new age inspirational sort of stuff. But this really does work, trust me, because I've done it. So yeah, the first one, just to recap, realign your thinking, kind of get that kind of it's a chore out of my head. Think of it more as kind of this is something I do to rewind and kind of calm myself down, or it's something I enjoy. Set goals. So just think, what is it I want to achieve, and am I taking steps to achieving those goals? Third one, don't procrastinate. The fourth one, just have fun. Just have fun. Hope that helps. Let me know if it does in your lessons. Any other questions if you want me to embellish more on these. This is a very brief kind of video, but if you want me to kind of go into more detail, give me a shout. You know where we are. At school, just come in and just say, you know, in your lesson, just say, you know, can you talk to me a bit more about this? Can you talk to me a bit more about that? And if there's a reoccurring theme, I'll just kind of sit down with you guys and go into it with you. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Have a great month practicing, and yeah, we'll see you all in your lessons. Have a good one, guys. Bye.